Hi, welcome back to PC Builder. I'm Jason. I am so excited today, and I know you are going to be excited too because we're going to do the fan favorite series, Boost My Build. This is a series where we take your PC part picker list on your builds and we reconstruct them to boost up your build for budget, for performance, for aesthetics sometimes too, because of course RGB and theme builds are cool too. If you're a subscriber, you're going to be super excited because today's episode is all subscribers. We're actually going to do 2 of these episodes because we got so many submissions. So I decided to make today's first episode that's coming out all about subscriber builds. If you're not yet subscribed to the channel, of course, click that subscribe button, click the bell icon, get notified when we go live with new content. But more importantly than anything, of course, give the video a like because this is just going to be a lot of fun today. All right, with that, let's jump into these builds. Here's a build from Amir Yousefi. Budget's around $1,700 USD. 1440p, 144 hertz gaming is what he's looking for. Asking if a RTX 3070 makes sense. Okay, so we've got a Ryzen 5 5600X build here. It's got a budget CPU cooler, love it. It's got a Gigabyte B550M DS3H, I don't love it. Looks like you've bought most of these parts here, and what you're really asking me is you haven't bought the motherboard, you haven't bought the second SSD storage, which is a Samsung 980 Pro. We'll talk about that in just a second. And then you've got questions about the graphics card price that you put in here. And then you've got the power supply. It looks like you have a different power supply picked out. And then you've got a monitor, which is the Gigabyte M27Q. If you haven't seen my best 1440p gaming monitors that just came out, that's one of the ones I recommend. $300 is a real steal for it. I'll put that link up there in the card. You can check that out if you're looking for a 1440p gaming monitor. So a couple things to boost your build here. I'm going to tell you, I don't understand why we've got the 980 Pro in here. This drive, it's a 500 gigabyte drive, doesn't make any sense to me. The Western Digital Blue, just for gaming, more than you need. Frankly, a SATA SSD would be fine with some DRAM. We're going to dump that drive, and what we're going to do is we're going to take that $120 because you said $1,700 total was your goal, and you're already at $1,700, even a little bit more by my estimation here, based on what you've already purchased. So for this price, I think you're going to go after an RTX 3060. You are going to want one at MSRP from Newegg, probably Newegg Shuffle, or you can just wait a little while. I think the RTX 3060s will start coming down towards the AIB MSRP, not the NVIDIA MSRP. That's never going to be achieved. That 329 is a joke in the current market. I'm not sure we'll ever get there. Maybe 2-3 years down the line after we finally fix the market. But let's just grab any. Yeah, there we go. And let's go ahead and fix this price. Let's just manually enter. Let's give you $550 to buy that. So that's what I would get rid of that drive. I'd come down to an RTX 3060. There's not a lot more that you can do. I like the monitor. I like the rest of the build. This is going in the right direction. The one thing I might consider switching is the motherboard. You're going to get some really kind of crummy audio on the B550M DS3H. I would recommend taking a look at, oh my gosh, just about anything really, but a board right here you can consider. It's the ASRock B550M Pro 4. It does not have BIOS flashback on it, but if you go into the comments, you might see that it's coming, Ryzen 5000 ready. If that's the case, you could take a gamble on it. It's got good audio codec on it, really great performer, probably ASRock's best B550 in terms of price to performance. I'm not a big fan of some of the other ones just because they don't have BIOS flashback on them. They really they missed the boat on that one. The other one I would definitely look at here is the Gigabyte B550M Aorus Pro-P. $30 more. This has an ALC 1220 audio codec on it. Far better audio on it. This is just an all-around much better board for only about $30 more. And since we dumped that overpriced 980 Pro drive, you could easily go ahead and slot this in. So that's what I would recommend. Okay, next we've got iCaptain OG. I love the name. High FPS, no budget. All right, challenge accepted. Let's see what you got here. Ryzen 9 5900X, Kraken X53. You got a great motherboard. In fact, this is like the build that's almost sitting next to me here. It's very similar to the one I did earlier this year. G-Skills Trident Z Neo. 2 by 16 gigabytes. You know, here's the thing you might think about for the memory, just because I don't know if this has to do with the pandemic shortages or whatnot. A lot of the 16 gigabyte kits now are coming single rank, which is a real bummer. So I would consider getting a 4 by 8 kit there just to ensure that you get dual rank. Again, you said price is no object, so I would go ahead and take a look at that. What else would I take a look at? Yeah, you got a PCIe 4.0 drive. Okay, that's fine if you want to spend money on it. Not necessary for high FPS gaming, but if you want to do it, go for it. RTX 3080 Ti. You could look at getting a 3090 with this build. I think the 3080 Ti is probably the better place to be. Same case I've got too, Fractal Design Mesh FIC. Did you steal this build? That's awesome. All right. Love the power supply. What's your total draw here? 590. Yeah, the 850 should be about right for you. That's a great power supply, the Corsair ARMS. You could look at the RMX, which is the slightly more advanced version of this for Corsair. If you're really set on a Corsair power supply, the RM is still very good. Don't get me wrong, but the RMX just a little bit better. Okay, the monitor. Yeah, you got the Asus TUF Gaming VG27AQ. Very capable monitor for the price, and it's something that I might even recommend myself. But you said price is no object. You said you want high FPS gaming, and certainly you've got the hardware here for it. If you're gonna spend this much on the hardware, don't shortchange the visual experience. That's like the whole point of the thing, right? It's what you see, it's what you experience. That's why we're spending all this money in the first place. So I'm gonna recommend we upgrade this monitor, and I'm gonna give you two options. Again, from my best 1440p gaming monitors video that just came out last month, I'll include that link in the description. I would recommend either the Alienware AW2721D. This is a phenomenal IPS panel. I go through all the specs in that video, but if you want the best IPS panel and the high frame rate experience, this is really it. However, I would recommend going with the Samsung Odyssey G7. This is my personal choice in terms of the best 1440p monitor, and right now you can get the 32-inch version of this for $750 over at Amazon, and the 27-inch is selling for its regular MSRP at $700. So for $50 more, I would take the 32-inch one. This just phenomenal contrast to it, 240 hertz monitor. If you want the best of the best, this is it. The other thing I would recommend taking a look at in your build, I noticed you're getting RGB memory. I noticed you're getting a lot of other cool features. I love the case. I love that Fractal design case. And then you're getting an all black NZXT Kraken cooler. Well, hey man, if you want to step that thing up, you could go to the Z53, which is the one with the LCD screen on it. Really cool looking. If you also want to add RGB to the fans, I might recommend the Aorus WaterForce X 240 AIO liquid cooler. This has both the LCD screen on the front of it, and it's got ARGB fans. It's just a really super cool cooler. Ha ha ha, right? Anyway, something to take a look at. Overall, the build's fantastic. Some minor tweaks here or there. Again, 4 by 8 for 32 gigabytes on the memory is my recommendation. Better monitor, and look at upgrading the RGB. All right, the next one is Francisco Lopez. Hey brother, here's my list that I'm gonna build. Any pro tip would be appreciated. It's gonna be their long-awaited PC. They're gonna do gaming only, mostly esports titles, mostly CSGO, semi-professionally. Wow, that's okay. Sometimes Call of Duty, PUBG, Valorant. Awesome, let's check out what you got here. We have Ryzen 5 5600X with a kind of standard cooler, Master Hyper 212 Black, perfectly good cooler. Motherboard Asus TUF Gaming B550M, perfect. Crucial Ballistics 2 by 8 gigabyte kit. Okay, you got a Crucial P1, that's absolutely fine. RTX 3060. All right. Colonic. I love these cases, by the way. You guys in Europe get the coolest cases. I wish these cases would come to the US because they're just not here. And frankly, to me, these are some of the coolest micro ATX cases. I really, for budget builds and things like that, even for, not budget builds, these are just phenomenal cases. Enough about that. Seasonic Core GC6, I'm not familiar with this particular power supply. I would recommend just double checking it on the Linus Tech Tips PSU Cultist list. This just does not ring a bell to me. And then we've got the Asus monitor, and I am actually somewhat familiar with this monitor. I don't think it's the best. I believe the R on it, this is like a European version of the same VG258Q something. I can't remember the last digit in the US. I believe this is the European version of it to conform with their standards over there. overall, this is a good build. You know, you didn't give me a budget, so we're at 1,600 euros, which, you know, what is that? It's about 2,000 US dollars. This is what I would expect for 2,000 US. You know, obviously the RTX 3060 is the bulk of your budget here because 609 euros, that is, oh, my math is terrible here, that's like $720, $750. It's kind of expensive, so obviously you're clearly not going to wait for MSRP. That's fine. I get it. It's been too long for a lot of people. But the one thing I would fix, if your budget's somewhere around $2,000 US out of this build, because I think it's perfectly fine for high FPS as long as you turn the settings down in 1080p to like competitive, you can push 200 FPS in a lot of these, especially Valorant. You can play it on a toaster. I would change the monitor. What would I change this monitor to? I'm not really familiar with your market, so let's just see what we've got. I would take a look at something with a much higher refresh rate. Again, if you want to be, I would say at least 240 hertz. Let's see what we got over there at 1080p. For $15 more, this is a monitor I recommended my best gaming monitors video that came out earlier this year. Again, link in the card, and I'll put a link to that down in the description. If you haven't checked it out, I teach you kind of how to figure out what are all the specs for the monitors mean, what are you looking for, and then I make some very specific product recommendations. This is my esports recommendation. If you can't afford to go with the 27-inch model, I know you had the AOC 27-inch model. That's good. I would recommend 25's fine, or spend just a little bit more money, about 80 more euros or about 100 USD more, and get yourself the Asus TUF Gaming VG27 9QM. This is a 280 hertz monitor. It's got to be one of the best 1080p esports monitors for the money. Strong recommendation for you. Otherwise, the build looks phenomenal. All right, Ningxing Ying. This can be their first PC build. They want to do high FPS 1440p gaming, but they also want to do game development with Unreal Engine 5, Blender, video editing. They've got a whole plan for like all these awesome ARGB fans. Great. Just make sure to get a controller for it. That's going to make everything a lot more simple. And you don't know which motherboard to get. You want Bluetooth if you can get it, but Wi-Fi is not necessary, and you want some overclocking headroom. What do you got here? You've got a 5800X with a 360 ARGB, a 360 millimeter all-in-one liquid cooler ARGB. That's the idCool and ZoomFlow. I really like that one. I've got one sitting next to me here. You got the X570 Aorus Elite. I'm scratching my head on that. I think maybe you're doing that because I see you've got the Lian Li O11 Dynamic Razor, which is kind of I don't know if there's a limited edition case. I know that they're going out of stock. So I'm going to assume you've got the whole ARGB planned out for this thing, that you've got this whole Razor kind of aesthetic for it. So I'm not going to touch this case, but I know it's got a front panel USB Type-C, which is going to be important for our motherboard selection. Nothing wrong with the X570 Aorus Elite, but I don't think you need X570. You don't even have a PCIe Gen 4 drive in here, let alone two of them. So I don't see why you would need more PCIe Gen 4 than B550 already comes with. Now, I really do like the drive you have in here, ADATA XPG SX8200 Pro. Too many people spend way too much on their drives when something like this is a prosumer level, just real step up from some of the kind of more entry-level M.2 NVMEs, and it'll do you fine. For gaming, of course, none of this makes any difference whatsoever, by the way. A SATA SSD is all you need right now, at least in 2021. You want to get an RTX 3080 card. I checked the prices on eBay. I found them for about $1,500. So I'm just going to assume that that's what we're going to have to spend. That puts you just at your budget here of $3,000. Again, I'm not going to touch the power supply. That looks fine. You have some cold storage here, some spinning storage. That's fine. This memory kit seems overpriced. Maybe it's just the one I'm looking at here. See, I had 4x8's great, but $303 for a DDR4 3200 CL16 kit seems a little high to me. So I double check to see if you can get maybe a better deal. Maybe you want the Dominator and you're set with that. So mostly I'd get a 5900X. I would find a way to get a 5900X. Find another $150, get a 5900X. You are doing production work that's going to massively benefit from a 5900X in here. And 5800X is great, don't get me wrong, but 5900X all the way. As far as the motherboard goes, because you're going to be doing audio editing, probably I'm just assuming here when you do the video editing, you're going to want to get motherboard with an ALC 1220 audio codec, unless you have an external digital to audio analog converter, a DAC, that you're going to plug into, then it doesn't matter. But I'm going to assume you don't have one of those, so you're going to want something that works really well with high impedance headphones that has an ALC 1220 codec on it. So I'm going to recommend, because the Aorus Elite I believe is ALC 1200, I'm going to recommend you go and get the Gigabyte B550 Aorus Pro V2. The V2 has the USB Type-C front panel header. Now these boards have been just selling out, and there's been a stock shortage lately. They still have it on Newegg right now for about the same price you're getting the other one. So I would recommend that. That's going to get you the audio level you're going to need to do some of this more complex video editing. And I'd upgrade to the 5900X as well. All right, this is from Doc Honavar, 99. I hope I said that correctly. You didn't give me a budget. I'm just going to assume whatever you got in there is your budget. It's a 1080p gaming, and you have questions about the motherboard. Let's jump in. What? I'm glad you sent this to me. This build, technically all the parts do work together. There's nothing wrong with that. However, none of it makes any sense. It's a very confused build, so I'm really glad you sent it to me before you bought this stuff and tried to assemble it and then got something that you just didn't feel very good about. So we're going to get you a build that you can feel amazing about. What am I saying for all the viewers at home is wrong with this build? Well, you got a 5800. It starts off good. 5800X, Arctic Esports Duo for the cooler, ROG Strix B550A for the motherboard. I see a white theme going on here. Crucial Ballistics 2x8 kit for 16 gigabytes. 3600 CL16, fantastic. Then we start getting really weird. We've got two drives here, both about 500 gigabytes. We've got one SATA, just kind of storage drive, no DRAM, I think, on that Kingston A400 for sure. And then we've got one that I think you think is an M.2 NVMe drive, but is actually a really sneaky SATA drive. And the way you tell, see these connectors here? First of all, it says on the drive, I guess, SATA. But see these connectors here? There's two of them, two small ones. That's SATA. If it was NVMe, this one here would go all the way down. There'd be no gaps, and there'd just be one small one. That's one way to tell. The other way to tell, I guess, it says SATA. But a lot of people don't realize that when you buy the M.2 form factor, that those can be SATA drives. So, just public service announcement, and they tend to be more expensive too. So the storage is confused, but here's the kicker. You are going to reuse your Sapphire Radeon R9 Fury graphics card from probably a billion years ago. Now, this is a card I recommended as a stopgap measure during the height of the craziness of the, because miners don't want them. They're way too high power usage. In fact, I'm going to guess that most of the power usage here is that graphics card. Yeah, wow, that thing's just sucking back a lot of power for what it is. That's probably why you got this 850 watt power supply in here. It's just like one decision kind of tackles into the next, dominoes into the next, dominoes into the next. You're paying a lot for Windows. You can use it without a license for free forever if you want. And you can get a CD key. I'm actually going to do a whole video on that very soon, but if you want to pay for Windows, that's fine. I don't want to get into that necessarily. And you've got an AOC C24G1. Fine monitor, but for $10 less, you can get the C24G2. Just came back into stock at Amazon for $10 less, and it's a better monitor. But I'm going to do something special for this one. This one needs a lot of help. You're $1,400 here, right? Because your cooler didn't have any price in there. And the performance level we're getting here is really all over the place. For gaming, it's not going to be very good because the graphics card's holding us back, and we're spending way too much on other components. So what I recommend is that we completely scrap this build and we start over. And how can we do that? Well, we're going to get you a better graphics card. You're like, Jason, but graphics cards are out of stock, right? Wrong. Graphics cards are not out of stock. Graphics cards, in fact, are back in stock. At Newegg specifically, you can get combo deals for some of the Asus and Gigabyte cards, the older variants, the RTX 2060, the 1660 Super, the 1650, and 1650 Super are all at various times back in stock. And they come bundled with a power supply. That's to help stop scalpers from buying them all up and reselling them on eBay. The power supply has a $20 rebate on it. So if you wanted to get something like a GTX 1660 Super, you can get that with a 450 watt power supply, plenty for that build, by the way, for $400. Okay, so if you break that down, I believe the card comes out to $320, which is only about $60 more than you would have paid for it in November 2020, the last time graphics card prices were somewhat sane. That's not terrible. That's not like these cards alone were going for $700 just a month ago, 2 months ago. But we're actually going to use the RTX 2060, and I'll include links to these deals down in the description. I've been putting them out over and over and over in videos because I feel like nobody realizes that they're back. We're going to use this one instead. So for $515, this is a little bit less of a good deal, but we're going to get you an RTX 2060 just because I don't think the 1660 Super is a big enough upgrade over the Nitro. But the 2060 definitely is. This thing is going to kick some butt. So we're going to use this with a 550 watt power supply that it comes with for $515 total. And I put together two builds so you don't have to sit here and watch me rebuild them. I put together two builds. One is an Intel build and one is a Ryzen build for the same amount, for just about $1,400. And I've upgraded your monitor to the 27-inch G2 version for that AOC model instead of the 24-inch. So you're going to get a better monitor, a better panel out of this. And check this out. We're going to go with a Ryzen 5 1600AF processor. It's the equivalent of a 2600. We're going to stick with your white aesthetic. We're going to go down to the id Cooling SE224XT, the white version. This is probably the best mid-tower air cooler. The one you had in is better, but you don't need that much cooling now. So we're going to drop down to this one. The Asus TUF Gaming B450 Plus 2 on it motherboard. Now this is a motherboard that if in the future you want to upgrade to a Ryzen 5600X, you could certainly do that. You could drop in a CPU into this motherboard and be good to go. We're also going to add in some cool white RGB aesthetic to it with a T-Force Delta RGB. This is also a 16 gigabyte kit with RGB on it, all white, which is clearly something you want. And it's only $80 because we're going to go down to 3200 speed, just because 3200 CL16, just because memory compatibility with the 2600 and the 1600 AF can be a little dicey once you get to the faster speeds, though most of those bugs have been worked out. We've got the RTX 2060 in here now for what is effectively the price in the combo, $425. And we've got the 550 watt bronze power supply that it comes with in here for $89. That's the total price of the combo. We're going to keep your case, which is, I love the Phanteks P360A. We're going to keep your Windows, but I'm going to drop it down to Windows 10 Home. There's really no reason to get the Pro version. So we're going to do that for $1,378. So basically for the same price of the build you just had, we're going to get you one with way more performance in terms of playing games, and we're going to get you a way better monitor for it. Of course, you could also do an Intel build. Now, unfortunately, the i5 11400, which is what I really wanted to put in here, is out of stock everywhere. So if it comes in stock by the time you see this, I would grab that instead. But in the meantime, I've grabbed the i5 10400F. Right now they're selling it for $175 over at Amazon. No, you could put a Ryzen 3600 in this build, except they're just stupid expensive right now. I don't know when the 3600 is going to come back in stock, if ever. We're coupling that with the ASRock B560 Pro 4. Now, clearly you've got the Phanteks Eclipse, you've got the full ATX case. You could go with the micro ATX motherboard and save $10, but I went ahead with the full ATX size board on this one. You are going to want to get in there and go ahead and just get rid of all the power limits in the BIOS as soon as you get the system to post. It's not hard to do. There's a lot of tutorials on how to do it. I might do one myself. So this or the Ryzen 1600 AF build, about the same price. This one's a little bit more expensive on the Intel side, $1,427. I'm not really sure for the performance difference. You would see a difference between the two. So if you want to go Ryzen and then give yourself the upgrade path to in the future, get a 5600X, get a 5800X and drop it in that board, you could absolutely do it. So that was the first Boost My Build episode 1 of 2 for this month. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember, stay tuned for the next episode. If you got a lot of enjoyment out of this one, or if even you just had a little bit of fun or learned something, give the video a like. It helps out so much for the channel. And with that, we'll catch you on the next one.
Come on.